Hey everyone, welcome back to Speak Your Flow, your go-to podcast for real-life English, genuine conversations, and the kind of listening practice that actually sticks. This is the place where you learn to use English, not just study it. I'm Michael.
And I'm Olivia. So, Michael, how's your day going so far? Anything interesting happen?
It was pretty standard. Had some meetings, answered a million emails, but I did have a nice chat with our neighbor earlier. We practiced a little Spanish together. It reminded me how scary it can be to speak a new language, even for a few minutes.
Oh, I know that feeling so well. That little heartbeat jump before you say a word, it's totally normal. And that's actually a perfect lead in to our topic today.
It really is. Okay, small talk done. Let's get into it. Today, we're talking about a huge wall that every language learner faces: fear. The fear of speaking, of making mistakes, of sounding silly. It's what keeps so many people stuck even when they know a lot of words.
Yes, and our mission today is not to tell you don't be afraid. That's not helpful. Instead, we want to give you a ladder to climb over that wall, or a little door to go through it. Simple, practical strategies to build real confidence.
Because confidence isn't something you just have, it's something you build, brick by brick. And before we start building, can we ask you a quick favor?
Please, if this podcast helps you, hit that like button, subscribe to Speak Your Flow, and share it with a friend. Especially that friend who says, "My English is terrible," but you know they understand everything. We all have that friend.
Sometimes I am that friend. Okay, Olivia, let's start with the heart of it. What are people really afraid of? Is it just making a mistake?
It's deeper than that, I think. I believe people are afraid of judgment. They imagine the other person thinking, oh, their grammar is bad or their accent is strange. They're afraid of that moment of silence when they can't find the word. It feels like failing.
That's so true. It feels deeply personal, like our intelligence is being judged. But here's the first secret we need to understand. Most native speakers are not judging your grammar. They're just trying to understand your idea, to connect with you.
Exactly. Think about it. When someone speaks to you in broken English, are you criticizing their verbs? No, you're thinking, wow, they're speaking my language. That's cool. What are they trying to tell me? You're focused on the meaning, not the mistakes.
So, our first brick in the confidence wall is to change the story in our head. Instead of thinking, I must speak perfectly, think, my goal is to connect. Connection is so much easier than perfection.
Yes, and to help with that, I have a little story. When I first moved here, I had to go to the pharmacy. I needed something for a headache. I was so nervous. I practiced the sentence in my head 20 times. Excuse me, do you have something for a headache?
Let me guess, it didn't go as planned?
Not at all. The pharmacist smiled and said, sure, what kind? Tablets, capsules, liquid? My mind went completely blank. All my practiced grammar vanished. I just pointed to my head and said, head hurt. Simple?
And what happened?
She laughed kindly, nodded, and gave me the most basic pain relief tablets. And she said, these are good. Simple. She used my word. I left feeling embarrassed for a second, but then I realized I got what I needed. The mission was accomplished. The connection worked, even with 4 words.
That's a brilliant, real example. Your fear was about the sentence, but the world only needed the meaning. Head hurt, simple. That's communication. So, tip number 1 is your spoken English only needs to be effective, not perfect. Aim for understanding, not for textbook sentences.
That leads us to tip number 2. Practice in a safe bubble first. You wouldn't run a marathon without training on small runs. Don't jump into a big conversation without warming up your speaking muscle in a safe place.
What does a safe bubble look like?
It's a place with zero judgment. For example, talking to yourself. Describe what you're doing aloud in English when you're alone. I am making coffee. The water is hot. I am pouring the milk. It sounds silly, but it gets your mouth used to forming English sounds freely.
I love that. Another safe bubble is speaking to a pet or even a plant, or using a language app where you talk to a computer. The point is to create fluency in your mouth muscles without the fear of a real person listening.
Exactly. It's like practicing a song alone in your room before singing on a stage. Which brings me to tip 3. Focus on one small victory at a time. Confidence is a collection of small wins.
Don't make your goal have a 30-minute deep conversation about politics. That's setting yourself up for fear. Make your goal, today I will order my coffee in English and say, thank you, have a nice day. That's a win. Today I will ask a colleague, how was your weekend? And listen to their answer. That's a win.
Yes, I have a friend who did this. His first victory was saying double espresso, please, correctly. He was so proud. The next day, he added to stay, please. Tiny victories. After a month, he was having small chats with the barista. He built his confidence staircase step by step.
That's the perfect metaphor. A staircase. You can't jump to the top. Now, tip 4 is crucial. Prepare your islands of safety.
Ooh, islands of safety. I like that. What does it mean?
When you're in a conversation and panic hits, your mind goes blank. You need pre-prepared islands you can swim to. These are simple, versatile phrases that give you time to think and keep the conversation floating.
Give us an example.
Sure, if you don't understand, instead of just saying, what? You can use your island. Sorry, could you say that again? Or, I didn't quite catch that. If you need time to think, use an island. That's a good question. Let me think for a second. If you don't know a word, use an island. I don't know the word, but it's like a... These phrases are your life rafts. Prepare them, practice them, and you'll never feel completely lost.
That is incredibly practical. It turns panic into a manageable moment. My favorite island is, what I mean is, it lets me restart my sentence in a simpler way.
Perfect. Okay, tip 5. Change your goal from speaker to listener and responder. A lot of pressure comes from feeling like you have to perform to be interesting. Shift the focus. Your job is to listen carefully and then respond naturally to what you heard.
This was a game changer for me. In a conversation, I stopped worrying about my next brilliant point and just focused on understanding the other person. Then my responses became more natural. Really? That sounds difficult. Wow, what happened next? Listening is half of speaking, and it takes so much pressure off.
It's so true. People love good listeners. If you listen and respond with simple, genuine phrases, they will think you're a great conversationalist. You don't need complex grammar for that.
Now, we have to talk about the elephant in the room, mistakes. Tip 6, fall in love with mistakes. See them as data, not as failure.
Every mistake is a signpost. It tells you exactly what to work on. If you say, I go yesterday, and someone corrects you with, I went, that's a gift. Your brain will remember that correction far more than any grammar rule. Thank the person if they correct you kindly. Say, thanks for telling me.
Think of a baby learning to walk. They fall 100 times. Do we call them a failure? No. We cheer every wobbly step. Be that kind and cheerful coach for yourself. Celebrate the attempt, not just the perfect result.
Let's do a quick vocabulary check. We've used some useful words and phrases today. First, confidence. It means the feeling that you can do something well. We want to build confidence. Then, judgment. The fear of judgment is the worry about other people's negative opinions. We talked about effective communication. This means communication that works and gets the result you need. An island of safety is our phrase for a prepared sentence that helps you in a difficult moment. And to respond means to answer or react to what someone said.
Also, versatile, something that can be used in many different situations. Our island phrases are versatile. And a metaphor, a picture you make with words to explain an idea, like a confidence staircase or a safe bubble.
So, if you're listening and thinking, okay, this sounds good, but what do I do today? Here is your simple action plan. Step 1. Change your story. Repeat to yourself, my goal is connection, not perfection. Step 2. Build one island of safety. Choose one phrase, like, could you say that again? And practice it until it feels automatic. Step 3. Plan one tiny victory for tomorrow. Something so small it's not scary. I will greet my neighbor with, good morning. Step 4. Tonight, spend 2 minutes in your safe bubble. Talk to yourself in English about your day. No one is listening. Just let the words out.
That's a fantastic plan. Small, manageable, and powerful. Remember, confidence is like a plant. You can't pull it to make it grow faster. You water it a little every day with small practices, and one day you'll look up and see how strong it has become.
Beautifully said, Olivia. So, to wrap up, let's remember, fear is normal, but you are stronger than it. Use small victories, safe practice, and clever phrases to build your bridge over that fear. The world wants to hear what you have to say.
And we believe you can do it. Now, we'd love to hear from you. What's your biggest fear about speaking English? And what will your one tiny victory be this week? Tell us in the comments. Your story might give someone else the courage they need.
If this episode helped you, please give us a like, subscribe to Speak Your Flow, and share it with someone who needs a little confidence boost today.
Thank you so much for your time. You didn't just listen today. You took a step toward becoming a more confident, fluent you. That's something to be proud of.
This has been Speak Your Flow with Michael and Olivia. Until next time, speak kindly to yourself and let your English flow.
Bye for now.